Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Coffee and Conversation. I am Shawnee Sanders. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of these conversations with me, even when they're difficult to have. So, today's conversation is going to be very difficult for me to have, but it's necessary in my healing process. As always, I have coffee and it's quite delicious. So, this week has been very hard for me. And I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to be very real with you guys. My dog, my beloved Chachi, his name was Chachi, passed away yesterday on Saturday. And it was the hardest thing that I could have ever done was to agree to go ahead and put him down, to euthanize him. I never thought that I would be that owner that would euthanize a dog. I always thought I was that owner that would just allow him to just, die on his own at home with me in the family. But I had to choose something different because, I didn't want him, we have children to consider, and I didn't want him to suffer. But my Chachi, he was a mixed breed. He was a Chihuahua, but he looks like a Jack Russell. A lot of people thought he was a Jack Russell when they saw him. He was 16 years old. Everybody kept telling me, like, okay, Shawnee, he's 16. Eventually, he's going to go. And I know he was. Um, and the when I took him to the ER, because what happened on last Saturday is that while I was out shopping, my husband called me and told me that he wasn't moving. And I know he had arthritis, so at times he would kind of like fall flat, where all fours are spread out, and he's kind of like on his stomach. But he's always been able to lift himself up and kind of regain himself and start walking again. But last weekend he couldn't recover, so he stopped eating. I had to force water down his, I had to force him to drink water, and I had to do that with a syringe um, to put in his mouth and kind of push water down his throat just so he could have some liquids. And he began, but he was walking around. He was trying to get back to himself. He was walking around. He was moving, and but yet he wasn't eating still. And I tried, and I'm like, okay, I gotta force him to eat. I gotta put something down his mouth, and he began to get very frail. And I just never seen this before, that he was not able to recover. He was not able to recover. And so on Saturday, I took him to the ER because when I woke up that morning, he was just laying there, barely breathing faintly. Um, couldn't get up, couldn't stand, couldn't walk. Eyes very dark, couldn't see the white of his eyes. And it was just a very difficult thing to watch. It was a very difficult decision to make. I'm in the ER. I went by myself. I told my husband, you didn't have to come, because I can really be honest with you guys. I really thought he was going to come back home. I really thought he was going to come back. I thought he was just going to get, like, I knew he had teeth that I had to have taken out and some dental stuff. And I was like, okay, maybe he's not eating because his teeth, they're beginning to fall out now and I need to get them all extracted. Um, and I thought maybe they would give him a shot for the arthritis, because normally they give dogs a shot and they get back to themselves. But when I took him into the ER yesterday, they basically told me that he was dying, and there's not much that they can do for him. Um, and they believe that there was a bigger issue at hand. It wasn't just his arthritis or his teeth. They believe it probably was cancer, and that the best, the kindest thing I can do for him was to put him down. And if you guys would have ever met my Chachi, if I would have ever brought him on, and you would have saw, he was such a lively dog. And what I always loved about him is that he was a quiet dog. Like, he didn't bark. He didn't make noises. So over the last week, me and my husband noticed he was making noises, and then just let me know that he was truly in pain, and that it would be selfish of me to tell them, no, I'm going to take him home and he's going to die on his own, because I just didn't want him to suffer anymore. He was such a loving dog and he was so good to me. And I just didn't want to see him suffer, and I didn't want to see him oh, I'm sorry guys, this is hard. And I didn't want the kids to see him, um you know, I didn't want them to see him die. I didn't want them to wake up and he was gone. I didn't want my kids to experience that. That'd have been too hard for them. We haven't even told them that he's not coming back. You know, they just think he went to the hospital and they don't know yet. But sitting there, you know, my family was like, "Oh, you should have let someone come with you. You should have had your husband. You should have had somebody else there with you." And you know what I told them is that, you know, it's always been me and Chachi. He's been the one consistent thing in my life ever since I had him, and it's always been us, the two of us. And I guess it was something nostalgic about it, just being the two of us in the end. You know, people, we're right. When you have animals in your life, they truly become a part of your life and part of your family. And although you know they're going to leave you one day, it's still unexpected and it's still hurtful, you know. But I wanted to do this video, and I'm not doing this video for sympathy. I'm not doing this video just to cry on camera because it's not me. I'm doing this video because I need to do it to heal for myself. Because I came down this morning, and every Sunday morning I create content, and he wasn't here, and he wasn't there in his bed, and he wasn't walking around clickety clacking with his feet and his nails, and you know, it's just different. And my life is going to be different from this day forward, and my life will be forever changed. You know, people say, "Hey, you should get another dog," and I will one day. But right now, this is too hard. You know, you love something and it goes and it leaves, and it's just hard. So that has been my week. That's what I've been dealing with, and I'm still dealing with it today. But I forced myself to get up and create my content and to continue on. But my life will not be the same without my Chachi. It just won't. It will not be the same. And like I said, the vet said he must have been so loved because he was holding on for me, and he was just there for me. So because he lived so long, he was loved. And they can tell he was loved, and they can tell that he was happy because he lived so long. So this just goes to all you pet owners out there. You know, love on your babies, love on your animals, and you know that when that time comes, it's going to be difficult, a difficult decision for you to make. Or if they die on their own, you know, it's going to be difficult, but we're going to heal and we're going to move forward. But I love him. I love Chachi. I miss him already. And I just wanted to come on and share that with you guys this week and just let you know what I've been going through and what I've been dealing with. But I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to push through. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.